Hey folks, it's Akitsu, and I'm gonna walk you through setting up Gunmetal so it's actually playable, which shouldn't have to be an issue, really. It is a Xbox game in its original form, but for some reason, the Xbox controller is not the default controller they have set up in here. So, when you go in here, first thing you want to do before you play any missions or do anything is you want to go and set up your control. Now, control style C is just controller. So you want to go to control style C. Then you're going to want to go configure your controls because even picking that is not good enough. Having an Xbox controller for an Xbox game on Steam, which every other game under the universe will is not good enough for Gunmetal. No, Gunmetal has got this weird control scheme pre-launched in there. So whatever you do, do not go back to defaults. Just go into your controls, hit configure. Now, it makes it kind of easy. This is my setup. This is the closest that I think I can get to what I believe the original Xbox was. I have the game somewhere here. I will look and see if I can find the actual controls. But from memory, this is pretty damn close with an Xbox controller. Now, it's easy enough to set all this stuff, like say I wanted to change the jump button. First you hit A to select it, and I like jump to be A, so hit it again, hit whatever other button you would like, and it makes it that. You're going to have to set it up for both suit and jet. And yes, this seems like an incredible pain in the ass, and it is. It really should not be this difficult to get this game playable, but unless you're going to play it with a keyboard and mouse, which played a little better, I would say go ahead and do the controller setup, because otherwise you're just going to go nuts, because the way it's set up had strafing and running on the same stick and no look at all, and half the buttons not working. So you're not going to be able to play this directly out of the box without a little tweaking. So why should you play this game? Originally, when this game came out, it came out against Robotech. Now, Robotech, the original game where you play the Macross Valkyrie, had a very low ceiling on it. It looked incredible. It played really well. It had parts where you could tell there was going to be cinematics from the actual show, but licensing fell through for some reason. And, you know, it kind of left a really hollow, really bad gameplay experience. You would literally fly up like 2 or 3 times higher than your mech. Really low ceiling, barely able to get over the canyons in some of the case, and then you would hit this invisible wall where you could not go any higher in a jet plane. Now, let's let that sink in. In a jet plane, you couldn't go high. Okay. This game will actually let you fly around, and the flying in this game is actually very fun and very rewarding. The mech combat is decent. It doesn't have gear walk mode, but you know what? That's okay. In that respect, just for the freedom aspect, it is a better Robotech game than Robotech. Now, I picked this up for $1 on Indie Gala. So, this game goes on sale all the time. I wouldn't recommend buying it for the full price unless you're a really die-hard fan and you really have fond memories of it, because it does look very nice in the updated graphics. There is one other thing you're going to want to change on your little configuration here, though. They have added this horrible sun aspect to this game, where literally you will be going around playing the game, and if you face towards the sun, you will not be able to see anything. Like the whole screen just blotted out with light. Now, maybe this is an old effect, maybe I'm just not remembering it from the original game, but looking at it today in a modern gameplay sense, it's just horrible. Not for the fact that it looks bad, it looks nice, but at the same time, it makes the game virtually unplayable if you have enemies in that direction, which is kind of not the point of the game. The game is to run around and have fun and enjoy killing all these bad guys, which I'm about to show you. But first, let me show you how to turn off the sun. We're going to go out of here. After our controls are set, we're going to go to video. Now, you can make your screen resolution higher. I'm playing it in the original aspect, I believe. It's 1024 by 768, which is not bad. Yeah, we've got all these other wonderful things on here. Video quality high. Wait a second. I've been bamboozled. No, this was on the original screen, so let me go back out to that. Okay. You have to do controls from in the mission. You have to do your other options under advanced settings, which you can only get through this menu. Now, this is terrain detail, draw distance, cloud shadows. Lens flare is okay too, it's not that bad. But sun glare is the one you want to turn off. By default, it's on, and it's no fun at all. So, here we go. We're going to go ahead and select our mission. I've already gotten to Zone 2. I don't know how I got through the first mission, honestly, with the way that it was set up. It was so bad. I actually recorded it, but I didn't have the audio set up right, and it just overpowered anything I said, which is why I'm talking mainly on the menu screen. It's a very loud game, but I have it down to 9%, which I believe should be low enough. Originally it was at 25, so we're going to see how that works out while I'm playing. But if you can't hear me while I'm playing, then you're just going to have to watch things explode and go boom. So anyway, here's our variable fighter. It can transform from a robot into a fighter jet, and we swear it's not ripping off Transformers or Robotech. Yeah. And I really wish they had Battle Engine Aquila, because that one's an even better game than this. This is just fun because it's kind of goofy. So let's go ahead and launch our little mission, and hear our general.
The enemy has been deploying automatons to deliver devastating explosives to our settlements. We have detected a number of these walking bombs making their way toward our weapons research facility. Protect our settlements and do not let the enemy jeopardize the arms program.
Don't let them jeopardize that arms program. Forget the civilians, which you can lose the mission if you don't get them safe, but okay, yeah. Let's worry about the arms program. Now, as you can see, it looks really good.
You are their only hope.
Shooting my missiles, but they're not going off. I have a feeling I did something wrong with my missiles. Oops.
for now.
Okay.
More enemy units are approaching Settlement 2. You are needed there immediately.
First off, let's go get some health. As you can see, got the handy-dandy little thing showing us where everything is. Torpedoes. More torpedoes. And finally our energizer, which gives us health. Come on, come on, come on. I can't even tell if I'm healthy or not. Anyway, let's get back into the action here before we lose the mission. And protect the civilians. Easier done than said.
The attack on Settlement 2 has been thwarted. Keep it up.
I will,
Settlement 3 is
sir.
now under attack. Use every
Settlement
means
2
at your
looks a little
disposal
rough.
to repel the enemy troops.
Hate these little electric guys, they are a pain in the ass.
Settlement 3 reports no enemy units in the vicinity. Good work. Good work. The mission was a success.
Okay. So, you see, you can do these missions really quick, and it's not really a lot of draw on your time. It's a very simple premise. Go in, do whatever they tell you to do, go get health. That's it. For the time, very simple gameplay mechanic, but also at the time, you were going against Robotech. Robotech. I mean, that game should have been amazing, and that one stupid decision on their part to limit the height of how high you could go in your ship destroyed any fun of that game. There's a scene where you actually play out the battle where Ben Dixon dies, and it leads to the point where they're gonna show you the cinematic of Ben Dixon dying. And it was part of the thing that was actually going to bring the game together for people, because it was like you were there as part of that thing. And there's another mission where you're in space fighting all these wonderful frickin' Zentradi battle cruisers and battle pods, and all sorts of really cool things, and all it needed was a couple of cinematics. I mean, really so stupid. I would love to see that game redone on Steam with those few minor changes. It would be incredible. But unfortunately, the whole Macross situation with licensing and getting that game made in the first place was next to impossible. The fact that it would have had to use Macross footage from Robotech in a new medium would have been a completely new contract probably, so it never got done. Which is really a shame, and I really wish Harmony Eagle would go out and say, you know what, we're going to make a game based on Shadow Chronicles, because at least that's their entire new thing. It's got nothing to do with anything else. They own the rights. I would love to see a Shadow Chronicles Robotech game. Just saying. Make it happen. I mean, obviously you guys have the game from the Xbox. Use the source code from that. I mean, you own that game, I'm pretty sure. Don't think it was a Macross game that you imported and changed, so. Then again, it might have been. I don't know. Let's go ahead and play one more mission. We'll see how bad this gets. It's nowhere near the experience it used to be on the other controller, but you know what? It's still a lot better than playing this with keyboard and mouse. That's one thing I actually do enjoy about this. It's had its own flavor with its own vehicles and technology, so that's kind of cool. And they always give you a new weapon.
Enemies are amassing at a location dangerously close to the intelligence HQ. Even you cannot hope to overcome such a powerful force. We are preparing our choppers, and the weapons plant beyond the mountains is dispatching a consignment of armaments. See that the convoy arrives safely, and we may be able to strike first.
Now, how cruel and evil is the writer of this game to make somebody, a voice actor, go, "We are preparing our choppers and the weapons. Plant beyond the mountains is dispatching a consignment of armaments." Really? You couldn't just say they're getting stuff ready? I mean, does it have to be like, college level words all thrown in one sentence and the rest of it just nothing?
Work with our forces to protect the weapons convoy.
I work alone. Okay, now here's where they get you. It's an escort mission, but it's actually a pretty fun one. Barrel roll? I don't know how to barrel roll. This ain't Star Fox.
The convoy is under fire.
Hey, they actually did something. Good job, boys. Not many of you left, but that's okay.
The convoy is making good progress.
Okay.
The convoy is under fire.
Now, you see, you can't run ahead too far or it spawns in more enemies near the convoy. So, kind of have to stick with them a little bit.
The convoy is halfway there. You're doing well.
But I mean, just this level of mission variety actually is more in-depth than Overtech was.
weapon.
Ammo dump. That's what I needed to hear. Ammo increase.
The convoy is almost home. Keep it up.
Is this the convoy?
The re-energizer is under attack. The weapons plant is useless without it. The convoy is under fire. 3 convoy vehicles remain. Stay close to them. Only 2 convoy vehicles remain. Help them.
Doing my best, sir.
Energizer is under attack. The weapons plant is useless without it. The convoy is under fire. The re-energizer is under attack. The weapons plant is useless without it. The re-energizer is under attack. The weapons plant is useless without it. The re-energizer is under attack. The weapons plant is useless without it.
I'm doing my best here.
The convoy is under fire. Only 1 convoy vehicle remains. Protect it at all costs.
Trying.
The re-energizer is under attack. The weapons plant is useless without it. The re-energizer has been destroyed. You have failed.
I have failed. So as you can see, they throw a lot of things from a lot of different angles at you, and it does get a little challenging the further you get into it. It's worth your time if you want to put the investment in, but at the same time, it's a very dated game. You're not going to get a lot of replay value out of it. Once you beat it, you're not going to go back and want to play it much. So like I said, buy it on sale. It's really worth the time if you want to put the time into it. And as you can see from setting up the controller, you're going to have to put a lot of time into just getting to play the game. So, I give it 6 out of 10. Just for nostalgia value, just for the fact that it does some things better than Robotech, not the visuals. I like the aesthetic, but at the same time, it's got a lot of problems. So, it's a fun little game. It's worth your time. Maybe. So, I will see you guys next time. It's not letting me quit. It wants me to stay. Okay, here we go. Quit out of it entirely. So, I'm Hiatus, and thanks for hanging out. I'll see you guys next